Last undefeated team.
Don't start trying till the last month.
That's right. All right, Coach. Final thoughts on Cleveland State, and then look ahead to Davidson on Sunday.
So looking back to Sunday, I thought it was a good start for us. We got a lot of dates left on the calendar, but I thought it was a really good start. We preach a lot about scoring points and entertaining and having a product out there that people like to watch. And I think the people that watched us this first weekend liked what they saw. But, as we know, as we get further into this month in December, the degree of difficulty is going to go up. But as far as this past weekend, really, really good. We probably get, as far as the guys, we got everybody wrestling this weekend. We've got a bunch of guys wrestling on Saturday at the Grandview Open. Some really good guys. And then we've got 10 guys that will figure out who's going to wrestle on Sunday. Probably going to be a harder day on Saturday than Sunday, and that's not taking anything away from Davidson. They're young. I like the energy that Nate Carr Jr. has, and of course Marcus Coleman's there now. So we got some familiar faces that'll be back in Ames this weekend. So it's a new program, it's a growing program, and so I'm sure they're probably sending a message to their guys that this is what it looks like maybe at the next step or the next level. But that doesn't take anything away from what we need to do. We need to go out and do what we did this weekend.
You talk about wrestling an entertaining style and putting points on the board. Obviously, new three-point takedown rule. We all had our ideas of what that might look like, but seeing it in practice, what's your take on the new rules that were implemented?
Well, I think the thing that's probably the most obvious, and I kind of sensed it and you saw it firsthand, is that when there's a little bit of a gap between two guys, it's real easy for the match to get to bonus point territory. So you saw majors and tech falls a lot quicker and a lot easier. I mean, you think about it, you get 3 takedowns and, in the first period, and it's 9-2, so you're almost in major, you pick bottom the second period, you get away, it's 10-2 in 3 minutes and 1 second. So it can get away from you fast if you're on the wrong side of that.
Younger said he loves it.
Yeah, he likes to. Younger likes takedowns, and I think the thing from Younger this weekend is he had a really big guy, and he had a guy that was pretty good on top, and he went out and took a bad shot right away. And when you shoot, you're going to make some mistakes every now and then, and the guy got behind him right away, and boom, he got tested early. But I thought it was good the way he came back. He didn't get rattled at all. He had to really work to get away from a big guy, and then his cardio and shape took over. He kept telling me all off season that, Coach, you'll see I'm a different guy when I don't have to cut weight, and I'll have my energy, and I got a big gas tank, and so he made me a little bit of a believer this weekend. But he's got a lot more believing for me to understand. He's got a big gas tank, but it's getting there.
What did you learn about Kyson when he had to spend most of the season without wrestling for the first time in his life, at least since he started?
Yeah, anytime you come back from a labrum or a ACL, they're just slow heals, and it takes a while to get back in the groove. So, he wrestled in the All-Star meet late November, early December, so 11 months ago, and you tear your labrum and you have surgery and you're 7-8 months before you can do anything wrestling-wise. And so he got back on the mat right when school started, missed all spring, all summer. And, I think he's still not where he needs to be, but I like mostly that he went out there and, you're going to, at this level, Division I, you're going to be in a dogfight every first period. That's just the name of the game. I don't care who you're wrestling. That first period is going to be a dogfight, and then you start to see the separation. And, I felt like he put the foot on the gas in the second and third period, and a lot of times I don't think he has. So I like that early in the season. We got to keep doing that.
With Kyson, too, he's a guy who's been an NCAA qualifier in the past and has those lofty goals of going higher. Obviously he's still coming off this injury, but, what are those expectations or that ceiling you think he can reach still in his game?
He's a tremendous athlete. He's got a tremendous ceiling, but he's got to understand consistency. And, and I talk about it all the time, doing the little things. And he's never been able to do that. I'm a guy that's always going to tell you like it is. He's got to figure that out. He's got to be good week in, week out. He's got to manage his weight good. He's got to manage his life good. And he's always kind of been like a good high school wrestler that you can't get by at this level by being a good high school wrestler out of the wrestling room. So he's got to train like a professional. If he trains like a professional, the sky's the limit for that guy.
Talk about the Frost brothers.
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. Obviously, even the match we lost, he made a couple mistakes. You could tell he was a freshman, and now if you get thrown to your back, it's a 7-point move. You give up 2 7-point moves, that's 14 points. But I know we got a lot more takedowns in that match, but you just didn't. He just made some mistakes. Evan's really wrestling well right now. the one at 133. I still can't tell them apart, but by the time I told them if they kick enough butt this year, I'll start to tell them apart. So right now we're not there, but we're getting there. So I like them. They work hard. They got big tanks. They're gonna win a lot of matches at Iowa State before they're done.
How far are Chittum and Feldkamp away from seeing the map?
Chittum will be, if we have, all this is assuming we have a good week of practice. We're going to train hard today, Wednesday and Thursday, so we got 3 hard days of training. If everything goes well, you'll see Chittum this weekend. I think Feldkamp's about a week away, assuming that we get through this training. But I don't know where you'll see Chittum. You'll either see him at Grandview or you'll see him Sunday. We're trying to figure that out, but you'll see him.
With a guy like Younger who came in here from Cuba and then has just seen this growth from him as a human being and also as a wrestler over time, I guess how gratifying is that to see a guy like him just grow throughout his career here?
And his English is better too, right? If he'd been here a couple years ago, it was sign language, right? No, he's been fun. It's important to him, and he's really worked at it. He loves to be on the mat. He's one of those guys that kind of like David. He likes to learn a lot. And he likes to learn a lot more now that we're feeding him all the time. He didn't like to learn as much when we weren't feeding him as much. But he's going to be a contender in every match he shakes hands this year. That's for sure.
Was it your intent to have like a Carr family reunion these first 2 weeks?
I guess when we started putting together the schedule and I knew David was coming back, it was my idea. I just like to do some different stuff every now and then. And so I thought, he hadn't wrestled. I don't think we've wrestled in Ohio since he's been here. And I said, what a cool way to kick off the season, go back there and start him off the season at his old high school. So it was a good weekend.
What really inspires you to make these, duels have, like Ben just said, David Carr family reunions, and you have Marcus Coleman in the corner. What has really pushed you to make these types of schedules work?
Well, first and foremost, we need to take care of our Hilton fans. So, we got a great home schedule. We got Missouri, we got West Virginia, we got Iowa, we got UNI, we got Pitt, and I'm probably missing somebody. And obviously we got Davidson. So I think we're home 7 times, plus we're going to do an open tournament in February, so it's 8 times. So I think that's a really good schedule. And then you start piecing everything together after that. So when I schedule, Hilton's always my first priority. And then, obviously I'm really attached to the Humboldt people. And they do a great job for us in terms of helping us with our regional training center and now our collective. So, and I know our guys like that venue. They love being in, 1,500 people sitting right on top of you. So it's one of the ones that they talk about all the time. So it's a fun place to wrestle. If it wasn't a fun place to wrestle, we wouldn't renew it. But it's a fun place to wrestle. And we didn't get quite the crowd we wanted in Ohio, but the crowd we got there was really, really loud. I heard the people that did the broadcast with the Fight Pass did a really good job, so I think it was a good start.
Yeah, they did. Why did Broderson wrestle?
Broderson was under the weather a little bit. He got a bug on Friday, and I said, "Yeah, man, we're not gonna put you out there." But I like it when the next man up's ready to go, and I think Nando we always give out we call it a big head of the week, which is basically our MVP for the week, and I think Nando probably earned that because he beat a top 25 guy right out of the chute in his first match. So he was ready to go. And tell you what, he's hard to wrestle. He's got a really big gas tank, and he's really hard to score on. So he's going to be a guy that's always going to be competitive.
Going with that, when do you want to see your lineup finalized? Because obviously 33, 41, 49, and then 97 are all kind of there.
Yeah, we got a lot to figure out there. These next 2, everybody's going to be in the game. That's the great thing. Is so we've got a dual meet this weekend, and then we got a dual meet next weekend with Wisconsin. So we got Davidson, Wisconsin, and then we got also the Grandview Open, and then we're going to go to South Dakota State's got an Open the following weekend. So after those 2 weeks, everybody's going to have a shot. In fact, the guys that go to Grandview, their stock can actually rise more by the end of the weekend than the guys going to Davidson. So they're actually kind of in the driver's seat in terms of just maybe increasing a national ranking. So we're going to send some guys in, even maybe a few starters even to that as well.
I mean, what's to say about the depth, not only there when you have guys at Grandview that are pushing for that, and then in general when you have guys like, step up, and when you have someone fall down due to injury or getting sick,
Yep.
when you have the ability to have, people step up or in depth at multiple positions.
No, depth's important, and we've got depth at a lot of weights. We got depth at a lot of weights right now, so I like that.
How have you seen guys respond to the opportunity to be able to wrestle for these spots?
Well, I hope they're still competitive. I try to keep, if there's 2 guys really, really competing for a weight, they need to compete all year long. And the that stays in there the longest and is the toughest is going to get the spot at the end of the year. So, you obviously are going to get kind of who's the leader of the pack here by the time we get to second semester. But right now, there's a lot up for grabs and some wrestle-offs to happen and so forth.
Talk about the opportunity on Sunday to have Marcus Coleman in the coach's corner across from you.
Yeah, that'd be good to get Marcus back. I think he's going to stay. He's getting ready to go compete in a big freestyle event with Sam Schuyler and Duncan Lee, some of our RTC athletes. So he's going to stay here and train till he goes out to the Bill Farrell, which is in New York in mid-November, late November. So he'll stay in town.
Is it cool for you as a coach to see guys that you really help transform their careers and then see them graduate and go on to be their own coach, be a coach themselves?
Yeah, that just means you're getting old. Just means you're getting old.
All right, thank you much.
You bet.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.